Hello everybody again. We're gonna do a short country vlogs take me home. It'll be a vlog and country roads together. So I want to talk about, we're coming up to our seasonal video series. We just started a video series yesterday, which was the beginning of Memories of Hometown Heroics, a journey through times of war. Thanks to Kim once again for that. I want to try putting together a Zane Grey video about the man, about his books. He's actually a really interesting guy. Like, the more I've researched and looked up who he was and the struggles he had and things like that, really intriguing guy. And we'll discuss the Zane Grey house a little bit as well. Colleen had sent that forward, so that'll be a viewer submitted video, so we'll check that out. I want to get the General Braddock. I've been doing my research for that, so I'll finally hopefully get that out this week. And yeah, so we're gonna have our first haunted history tale, which is thanks to a friend Bob, who told me about a story that's in relation to Joseph Johns. We had talked about, so we're gonna revisit those sites, his graveside and the memorial. We'll sort of refresh your memories on the man, but then we'll wind out going and telling a story. It was a pretty short story, but it's still one of those you sort of wonder what the heck was going on. But we'll be doing that, doing haunted history tales now through Thanksgiving, and then after Thanksgiving maybe we'll do one or two more and sort of meld both that and Yuletide tales. Hopefully this year we'll actually get Yuletide tales done. We only got two before I got COVID and lost my voice. So this year we're going to be doing Yuletide tales through after Thanksgiving, through December, and through January. And then last but not least, we will be doing this year, because I didn't have my voice last year, we'll wind out driving around doing the country roads take me home, but it'll be the Christmas version where we drive around and see Christmas lights, because that was something I always loved as a kid, is driving around and just doing that. We are on, I believe it's called Ammo Road. It actually goes from just north of Jonestown along Route 72 back behind Indiantown Gap. So I figured this is a cool road. We'll take this. I haven't been on it for a long time, but it's another neat road, and like I said, it's something that we could talk about and that kind of stuff. At some point then, like I said, there's a couple other series as well, like the Heroines of Hometown History, the Tales of Hometown History, and also the Hometown Foundations. Those will be series that will be starting up again. Right now I'm doing the research for Annville, for Jonestown and Fredericksburg, possibly Schaeferstown as well. So we have 4 of those with those little blue signs that are the town marker signs, and talk about the founding of those towns, and then find as much information as we possibly can that deals with some of the neat aspects of the founding. Maybe some unique stories, like Frederick Stump, who founded Stumpstown, which would eventually become Fredericksburg, was quite a dynamic and not a very well-liked character. He did some pretty bad stuff. Actually had the U.S. government looking for him there for a little bit. It was interesting, like his story I never knew before, so I'll tell that along with in that Hometown Foundations, just because he's an intriguing individual. Not a very good individual, I'll say that, but still very, very intriguing, and I just think it's something that you guys will enjoy. But yeah, we'll have a bunch of different things coming out here in the next week. I've sort of been taking it a little bit easy, simply because of having that issue with my right foot, which it's healing well. I just don't want to mess around with it, and I got the shoes coming up, I think in the 17th, so you know, a little less than 2 weeks now for that. So I figured get myself worked into those and then just take my time and not push myself too far, because I've done that in the past. Don't want to do that again. But I'm trying to think, merch shop, it'll be a little while yet until, because I want to talk to my niece Benny and see what we can do with the Hometown Historian logo, because then we can get some stuff going, and then maybe play around with the site a little bit before I make it public, just to see what's all available to me, because Cliff's done a lot of really cool stuff with the spread shop, I believe is what it's called. So I'm interested to see what can happen with that. I'm also starting to look at different places to take my photography to. That's a cool barn over there. And just see what we see and say, okay, cool, this works, this doesn't work, and then go from there. We're definitely in the back of Indiantown Gap now. Yeah, because it's a detour of Fisher Avenue. Because right now they're, I guess, oh, that's cool. That's where the Walmart's church, which we visited, is back that way. But now what was I going to say? This is the problem. I lose my train of thought. I'm like, I had something important to say, I think. But anyways, a lot of cool stuff that we have coming up. There's like the photography bit. I want to get a group that does like wall art and that type of stuff. So I'm trying to figure out what would be the best fit, that type of stuff. So it's stuff that takes time, and of course Patreon has been started, and I don't want to harp on it too much, but it does help the channel to continue to go and all that good stuff. But yeah, we're in a good place. It's moving forward, and we'll see where things go. So as always, I want to say thanks for coming along. We'll drive here a little bit more, go through and see where, I forget where this road comes out, but it's cool that they had like Walmart's church back there, and that was a pretty neat place to go. It's an older Lutheran and Reformed church, and I guess to this day they still share the facilities. I guess one Sunday is for the Lutheran church, and the other Sunday is for the UCC church congregations, and they just sort of meld them. They have that kind of thing that goes on. It's unique because most of them at some point, usually right around 1900, maybe a little before that, they would split and they'd each have their own building, their own church building. But this one in particular didn't do that, so it's sort of neat. Oh, there's another entrance to the Indiantown Gap Cemetery. It's always such a beautiful place, so serene, and all the heroes that are buried there. And my dad's buried there in the cemetery. It's just one of those places that's really, really important. Okay, cool, this is where it comes out. I should have known this. It comes right back out to Fisher Avenue, here near Funk's. So with that, I will say here, yeah, I know I was quick to say it, so don't not say it because I didn't complete the thought. When they had the whole thing with around 9/11, the federal government arranged quite a bit of funds for every single military base to, in essence, for safety reasons against terrorism, to be closed off. So that's what they're doing on this side. It would be the south side, I guess, of Indiantown Gap. They are putting in the gateways to sort of close off Fisher Avenue, which is a shame because that's back where they have the military vehicles. We'll go back and we'll do those at some point here while we have access to it. There's the Murray School. We've stopped there, talked about Lindley Murray, and about that schoolhouse. Is one of the few remaining wooden schoolhouses that are still look like the original schoolhouse. A lot of them have become homes, that type of stuff, the ones that remain. But so at some point on the other side of which I think is more, this would probably be the west side, and then that would be the east side of Indiantown Gap. That part of Fisher Avenue will also be closed off at some point, then putting in the gates. Lieutenant Governor's Mansion is on the side where they're creating this gate as well. So they just finally got around to, like, we got to do this because they have an airfield for the National Guard. So I always like that drive, and I'll miss being able to go through there, but I do understand that's sort of how things have to be. You just never know what kind of threats are out there, and they're taking advantage of those funds being available to them to slowly gate Indiantown Gap military base, National Guard base, clamp it down. So with that, I will bid you a fond adieu, and we will see you on the next adventure. And as always, we will see you all about town.